morning, viewers. Welcome to Marisburg Power Podcast. And today, I'm a little bit shaky. It's someone within the industry. She's a boss lady. As we explore in Marisburg and surrounding areas, we have one of the people that does that perfectly. Is Thando Sibiya, she is the acting CEO of Umgungundlovu FM. As you all know, that Umgungundlovu FM is a local radio station that covers the Umgungundlovu district. And everything that you want to know about radio within the area, she's a perfect person to talk to. So now we are trying to get to know her personally. So, Sawona sis.
Hello, Nijan.
Yeah, play voice.
Oh, okay.
Sis Thando Uban.
It's a big, broad question. But Sis Thando is a born and bred girl. Yes, a Maritzburg, Zalelwe Mbali, Unit 18. A student at Sibiya Primary School, an Alexandrian.
Yeah.
A UK graduate. So I've been in the city all my life, and I understand everything about it. I love it, and it's just, I don't think it was a mistake or it was by any chance that I landed in a project that was community based and that speaks to Maritzburg because I really, really love it. In short. Oh, I'm a mother too, so I'm saying it's so broad.
Yeah.
I mean, above all else, personally, my proudest, if you have to define me first, I'm a mother to two beautiful girls.
Aww.
So, yeah.
Hi, babies.
Basically. Yeah.
So, Niazwa, she knows the city like the back of her head. She knows everything, every corner, so hence she's a perfect candidate for a radio station in Umgungundlovu. So I don't know why do you keep, back when the acting, why acting? Long story.
It's not really long. I've been in radio for, I think this is the 13th year.
Yeah.
I am the founding member of the radio station. It's a pilot project that was started by my father.
Yeah.
The late Mr. Sibiya. He was the station manager. So I've been working at the radio station for the past 12 years as a marketing manager. Also a founding member of the radio. I know this radio station is just an idea that my dad had because he's actually a veteran when it comes to community media. I know it when it was still a dream. He's always wanted to be in radio. His biggest dream was to be on cause. So when that didn't, pan out, he decided to just get on and get his, get a project and manage his own community radio station in Maritzburg. This just happened. It was unfortunate events, but I won't say that it was a mistake. I guess it was something that was gonna come eventually. I was groomed by him, so he's the one that was actually passionate about radio and is the one that as well to just fall in love with this whole thing. So obviously at this point I'm acting because I need to
learn the ropes.
I'm actually learn the ropes. I've been there for all the time, but I feel like I need to obviously now take my job as a sales and marketing manager. I need to groom another person to understand how that works, so that I can, when I do fall fully into the post, there will be someone that understands what has to be done on the marketing and sales department.
Wow, perfect. That was a mouthful.
Well, I am a media person by profession and by academics. So
yeah. So here sikhuluma Umgungundlovu achazi ukuthi uPhetho umafika izolo because of she's young. No, ufundisiwe, uqeqeshiwe, waphekisiswa. So manje thina ama listeners Umgungundlovu FM, please make sure that ukuthi mengabuthi ulalele, because we sometimes want to make sure ukuthi lento silalele ngempela, is it well research, is it who's behind this marketing part of things. So usisi njengesho usisi Thando, she is the marketing, and then now njengese kwenye level manje uyayazi into ayenzayo, asibe kanjani, uyayazi into ayenzayo. Ibhlungu ukuphathwa umuntu ofakwe ngekhanda kodwa yena uyayazi, uyifundele, uyayazi into ayenzayo. Okay, when was it founded?
Umgungundlovu Community Radio was founded in 2006. Got a broadcasting license in 2008. We went on air on the 13th of October in 2010. So we've been here in October this year. We're actually celebrating 13 years broadcasting. So I mean, it was at a very emotional time because I mean the celebrations, we've always done them you know, under the wing of our leader Sibiya. So it was actually the first celebration that we had to do without him, obviously without him physically, because I think he's with us always you know, in spirit. So yes, it's been 13 years of a lot of challenges, but I think I'm glad to get this opportunity to talk about this thing, because I feel like sometimes people, when they see a project, they have their own, you know, suggestions, they'll have their own things of how they want to plan it. This particular project, you know, we've always had a vision of, you know, educating, uplifting, entertaining. You know, we just heading on to being a space where, you know, if someone is coming outside of Pietermaritzburg, anywhere in the world, when they do tune into the radio station, they get an idea of Pietermaritzburg, what type of city it is. I think in the past 10 years, we've obviously concentrated more on compliance. I mean, it's a tough field. You need to fight, especially with community media. It's a platform that people sometimes don't take very seriously. You know, because of a lot of reasons and issues that I'm not going to go to. So for the past 10 years, our focus has been, you know, compliance, making sure that everything is on board, you know. The main issues that are a challenge for community radio stations, we've been trying to make sure that we are compliant, you know, you don't, like bad PR. You know, you get a lot of issues, you know, radio station is closed because we're not paying Centec, you know, volunteers aren't happy. There's a lot of issues. Station manager is using his funds for all other things other than the project. So and another thing, we really wanting to be self-sufficient, as much as we are a non-profit organization, but you want to grow, you know, and plow back to your space. There's a lot of media students in Pietermaritzburg and surrounding areas. So a project like this one, if it's, you know, funded properly and if it has people that understand what it's supposed to do, then we can actually, you know, accommodate a lot of media people and media students, and they could also assist us to grow this radio station. So I mean, the vision is actually really big, but obviously it's our own pace.
Of course. So in terms of students, are you looking at taking having learnerships for only media students, or also on admin part?
Okay, I think for the past years, obviously when you take a student, you need to train them properly and for them to come out fully capacitated to actually, you know, get a job, or if you were retaining you, take you, and obviously now we are a very small entity and we're not a lot of funds, so
Yes,
we'll always have very few staff and a lot of volunteers. The biggest challenge I think for community media in general is that you get a lot of intelligent students, you train them, and when they're meant to come back and give back to you so that you grow, bigger radio stations and mainstream will take them. It's a problem that we can't do anything with. So then instead of being a radio station that's growing the city, growing everything else, you end up just being a training institution for bigger radio stations. So currently in the news department, we work with a lot of institutions around DUT, it's a lot of institution, ISESA. We do take a lot of journalism students for in-service training every year. And we train them through the news department because it's the only area currently that we have capacity to train. We are working with the Department of Science and Technology as well through an internship program. So what they do is they'll fund a student to come, and learn how to be a journalist, and then they'll focus on science stories and everything else, and then they'll cover them in radio. So we actually even in previous years worked with the MICT Citadel. We have in the previous years where we were able to accommodate students, journalism students, marketing students, give them training. So we can obviously accommodate students in all areas. It just is an issue of finance and an issue of capacity. So I'm glad that we are talking about these things because we have government, we have a lot of entities that can actually come on board and say, you know what, there's a lot of unemployed students. You guys are running an organization with students that are just sitting around with a lot of skills. How can we work together to make sure that you train these people and then they also give back to your organization to make sure that it grows? Because if a non-profit organization doesn't mean that it mustn't grow, it mustn't have these things. It grows and it plows back. Eventually we won't be renting a space, we will have we can own a radio station, and it can be bigger. I think it's endless, but obviously it needs focus. And to focus and understand the job and the vision, and not stray away, because you'll always have people that will not understand what you are trying to achieve and what you're trying to achieve. So but I think the most important thing that my father taught me was staying grounded and humble, and understanding exactly the job that you're meant to do, and you'll never have a lot of challenges if you are that. Just being grounded and
So have you spoken to the premier? By the way, we are at the capital city. All the administration is here.
No, we work with government. We have a lot of projects that we do for government. I think we are the main instrument. At passing government messages to the
communities.
We are the people at the grassroots levels, and we fought a lot to actually get that space in government to say, listen, there is mainstream media, but if you're having an event at Kaluza Hall, for an example, as much as you can use a bigger mainstream radio station, but the people of Imbali, Citadel, are the community of Umgungundlovu. So then pioneer those projects to us that actually, broadcast directly to those people. So government is a big supporter of community media, because most of the programs that they send to us, obviously they are the programs that sustain us. So it's the only platform that a normal community member can even engage with the minister, because we run these programs, the satellite program. So it was World AIDS Day the other day, so you will have a health minister talking on radio, and then people can actually ask questions. You have Department of Justice that comes with a lot of education and issues of maintenance, child, all these things, these issues. So what happens is they'll bring an official to the radio station, and then they'll come and talk about this issue. So people actually get to engage directly with the head of institutions with problems that affect them. Yeah.
And then, did you have anyone for 16 days of activism?
I mean, with government, we have a calendar, so all programs that are main and are relevant, we cover in the radio station. There's working relationships, even at a national level, with provincial and local aspects. So, I mean, the mandate for us, honestly, is to cover those things. All the issues, I mean, right, gender-based violence is a big situation right now. We have COVID-19.
Yes.
You know, we have a mandate to also just promote the message. I mean, let's vaccinate. You know, guys. We do a lot of COVID education.
Vaccination. Campaign.
True.
As well. So I had an opportunity to speak to one of the king's brother, Prince Nhlanganiso Zulu. He had a very strong message in terms of the gender-based violence. What is your message in terms of that?
Oh, gender-based violence is it's a disease. I feel like it's more like cancer, and you know, this thing goes back to, I think, everything we are. I think mostly, I'll be specific, African culture. You know, we are not very much educated even on issues of mental health. So, I mean, the space I grew up with, I'll talk personally, you know, things like depression, you know, and not things that you are meant to, you know, I can't just say I'm depressed, you know. I mean,
what do you mean? What do you mean?
So, I mean, we growing up in spaces where, you know, we are raised by single parents mostly. Our fathers are absent, and more than any time now, our mothers are just, you know, alcohol abuse. So it's with gender-based violence, I feel like you can't address it wholly without breaking it down to these issues. You know, there's mental health. What are we doing to educate our people about issues of mental health? You know, how are we raising our boy children, you know, into growing up as men and, you know, learning to treat women better? You know, the younger ones. How do we teach our younger men that, you know, you don't have to be strong always. Men are, you know, men are also allowed to be vulnerable. You're allowed to cry as well. You're allowed to have problems. You're not always meant to be strong. And this whole thing, I believe, as a young woman that's unmarried, there's a lot of pressure for us as young women that, you know, lands us in a situation of gender-based violence, because regardless of how much you achieve in your life, and I'm speaking in African culture, if you're not married, then it feels like
you haven't achieved much.
You haven't achieved anything. I can walk in at a family function, you know, having studied, running a business, but you'll find that so it's I think
like you're not full, you know, you find out short something.
So it's all those issues that pressures us. Then you end up with men that aren't taught properly how to be men and how to treat women, because you're trying to fit into a society that tells you that to be a woman and be respectable, you have to have, you know, a husband. I'm hoping that as we go forward, you know, and as we raise these girls, I have girl children, that we teach them to love themselves and we teach them independence, but we also teach them love. You know, not to say that, you know, don't find love, but, you know, I believe that if you teach your children to love themselves first, and, you know, to know who they are, then they manage better in society and life, and they're not easily influenced by things that
they become content.
Exactly. So and that, you know, it's you know, life is, you need to be happy within yourself first, before you can extend to another person. Then, you know, you can be yourself and they can be themselves, and you can just be compatible and come together, and then you're still a whole person, a whole man or a woman, even if you're not married, and you know, it shouldn't be a situation that defines us.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So how many DJs do you have?
Yeah. Community media works mostly, as I did tell you, because of
Yeah.
funding.
Mm.
We work mostly on a volunteer basis. So we have a staff of about 20 people. That are permanent, that come every day.
Yeah.
But overall, we have 65 people that contribute and are volunteers of the radio station. We even have members of the community that work, but come and volunteer their services because of their passion and love for radio. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, if I tune into Umgungundlovu, what are the channels?
The frequency.
Sorry.
I'm happy and excited. We spoke about that. We are at U 107.6 FM is our frequency. But the most exciting thing that happened to us this year through Babu Sibiya, the late Babu Sibiya, the radio station manager, he got us on the app. We now broadcast live on Android. We have an app, and what the app does is doesn't limit us to Pietermaritzburg only.
Yeah.
So now, if you download the app and get our link, Umgungundlovu FM, you just go to, if you have an Android phone, or you just go to Play Store, and then you just say Umgungundlovu FM, then you'll download your app, then you'll put your details, and anywhere in the world you can tune into us. So it's a beautiful, exciting platform. I think for the most part, with the board as well, because obviously, as much as I'm the leading person, there's brains behind it. We have a board of directors that assist to make sure that the mandate and the objectives and the constitutions of the radio stations go the way they are meant to go.
Who's the chairman?
His name. Babu Makudulela. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So a community, and those people are elected by the community. So which makes it, work efficiently, because it's people that are trusted by the community. As much as they're not there every day like I am, but they are the people that sort of direct you and they assist you, try to take through the vision of the radio
What
station.
is his expertise in the field?
He's an accountant by profession.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, sibonge kakhulu for isikhathi sakho. And what's new?
Yes.
Besides the app.
Project 2022, guys. I think I'm really excited. I think for the next year is actually a time where I'll really be engaging and focusing. The main thing we're doing next year is trying to focus more on our programming. I think the heart of the project Umgungundlovu community radio station is local content. So I'm hoping to work with a lot of younger people. I feel we don't have enough of the youth and the younger generation. I don't know if it's because the leader was older. I don't know what it is, but I'd love to engage more with the youth. I'd like the youth to listen more to our radio. I'm hoping by the end of 2022 I have increased numbers in youth engagement in our radio station. I'm hoping to have increased our programming at least by 60% local content, because we broadcast 80% in Zulu, and then 16% English and 4% other. So I'm hoping to bring in more of youth-focused programming so that by the end of the year, because youth is the future.
Yes, of course.
Fresh brains, fresh ideas. We are moving to a digital era, so it'd be nice to have younger blood that understands, especially in the heart of programming.
Okay. Now, do you have a book corner?
A book corner?
A book corner, meaning a program within the Citadel station that focuses on books.
Like a book reviews and things?
Yes.
There's not we do have programmings that are around that, because we do have authors and publishers that come and promote their work, but there's not a specific program that just speaks to that. Remember, Umgungundlovu is a community radio station, so unless people in the community come and bring these proposals and they speak to our mandate and they speak to our objectives and they align with who we are, then, you know, there's a chance and opportunity. So if there's an author or someone that has an interest in a program, you're allowed to bring those things. Abantu bomphakathi should come through and contribute to the radio station as well. You bring your proposals and we look at our programming and see how we can include those things. But we do overall cover all aspects of social issues. We cover health, we cover education, we cover legal issues. Like, so I mean, the heart of community media, especially community radio, is that unlike print, for an example, where you actually have to be able to read to get the information, radio, even a gogo who's there out in the she's feeded all the information, and the nice thing is that it's in a language that they get and understand. So it's a lot of work. Sometimes you have to translate these messages that come in English and you know, translate them back to your people, because it doesn't mean that because you didn't go to school or you can't speak English, you're not meant to get educated on issues that, you know, are around you, because you're also a member of society.
Definitely. Asibonge, Marisburg Power Podcast viewers, I hope you guys got enough info on about Umgungundlovu FM and Usisi. Like she said, Yabona, in between, she did cover personal life. So, gentlemen out there, she's not married, she said. And she's got 2 bundle of joys.
No comment. No comment.
No, thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you so much, Sissy. Thank you for inviting us.
Okay, thank you.